We'll get started in just a minute here. Waiting for the stream to start up. Make sure the stream is all live. We're going to talk about the Bronco. Right now I'm just tripping. Right now, hey, what's going on, Rodrigo? What's going on? Right now I'm just tripping over wires, trying to get everything configured. That dyslexia. You can change it. No, I can't. Okay, hold on. Fumble fingers. We're not talking about the 2012 Bronco, you guys. Hold on, fumble fingers. Yeah, there it is, 2012. Let's change that. What year is it? There we go. There we go.
Hi, YouTube.
That's Corey. We're going to get started here in a second. Oh, you know what? The music stopped, so I'm going to go live right now. What's going on? Corey's here too. She's just off camera. Why don't you come around here and say hi?
I'm not ready
come
for
over
prime
here.
time.
Oh, she's not ready for prime time, she said. How's it going, you guys? Thanks for
You're super dark again.
thanks for hanging out. Oh, it's because you were standing in the light. Now people will say, hey.
No, it still has that dark finish.
It'll be better.
Okay.
It'll be better. This is as good as it's going to get. You guys don't need to see
have that
me
cap on
anyway.
anyways?
You don't need to see me anyway. All right, hey, you guys, we're talking about the Ford Bronco. Get lost or turn that off. Get lost or turn that
Hi,
off.
everybody.
Get lost. Go on. I can't talk to people with you hanging out like a butterfly.
What's up, Rodrigo? What's up, man?
Crying out loud. I'm trying to talk to people
I just got to make sure you're talking about the right vehicle year.
in the right year.
Right.
What's going on? We got some stuff to show. First of all, I'm going to turn this on because this is why you guys are tuning in, is to look at the 2012 Ford Bronco. I'm kidding. The 2021 Ford Bronco. How are you guys doing? I see you joining. Thanks. It's the middle of the day, but I wanted to hop on. We had an exciting day yesterday, right? For the overland community and the off-road community in general. Bronco after a decade coming back, and it's something that I've been following along for a little while. I got all the papers, you guys. So we're gonna have fun. This is information that I get exclusively because I just went to the Ford website and downloaded it. But it breaks down all the variations, and we're going to show a little bit of that. We're going to show a little bit of that here, right? We're going to go through the stat sheet so that you guys can see it too. We're going to look at some pictures of the Ford Bronco, and then I also have some comparison stats between the Ford Bronco and the Wrangler. We're not here as a dish session on the Wrangler, not in the slightest, but we will do some comparison because that's what everybody is comparing it to, is the Wrangler versus the Bronco. Now, you guys, hey Rodrigo, I hope you're having a good guffaw over our setup. But that's how we roll here at Overland Bound. We're just trying to figure everything out, including what cable to plug into what port. So we're going to break it down. Hey, you guys, highly exclusive content, Rob. I can't see your comment off to the side. If you guys see me looking over here, that's what it's all about. And if you guys, pro tip, if you write Overland Bound, just like the YouTube channel, if you write it Overland space Bound, I will see it because it's in bright orange for us, and I can see it. Maybe it is for you guys too. I don't know. It sounds fancy. But it'll highlight it, and I'll see that you have a question, and I'll glance over and see if it's relevant. If it's not relevant, then I'm not going to see it. If it has anything to do with politics or religion, you get banned. I'm kidding. I'm not against either, but that's not what this channel is about. It's about overlanding. The Ford Bronco, so some pretty impressive stats. The interesting thing, hey, 5303, what's going on? See, that works. Hey, so one thing while I was looking through the interwebs, the internet tubes today, looking at some of the new information that is out since the embargo was released last night, and they revealed the Bronco. I was looking through some of the pictures, and I find it very interesting. You see that Jeep Wrangler ad above the Ford Bronco. I think that Jeep spent a lot of money trying to buy up all the ads around anything that says Bronco. You guys can go and test that and see if that is true. But clearly, it is a direct competitor to the Bronco, and some of the stats are pretty impressive, right? So if you look at some of the things that you guys are interested in, some of the stats on, come on, camera, not going to happen. There we go. Approach angle, breakover angle, departure angle, water fording depth, maximum tire size, those kind of things that we're interested in. It's a pretty interesting comparison, just doing one-to-one. So big deal. Tire size. Yes, you can get the base Ford Bronco with 35-inch tires. Maximum on the Wrangler is 33, so you can get a 35-inch tire on the base model. Now, we are not talking about the Bronco Sport today, because the Bronco Sport is in a different category. Now, it does come with four-wheel drive, but it doesn't have all the variations and trail capabilities of the other variants. So the two-door and the four-door Bronco are really what I think make a very capable trail rig. And not that you can't go overlanding with the Sport. You can. It comes with four-wheel drive. It's plenty to scare most everybody. But the two-door and four-door Bronco that I have on the screen right now is the real capable off-road vehicle. And if you look at some of those stats, here's some of the stats, right? So maximum tire size, I already mentioned, 21 Ford Bronco versus the 2020 Jeep Wrangler, 35-inch tires on the Bronco, 33-inch tires on the Wrangler. Let's continue here. Overland Bound, and they showed off the Hemi concept, steal some press attention. Rob, that right? It was a concept, but they pushed the concept side of things kind of down a little bit below the fold. Yeah, they did. They're really trying. And you know, if I was Jeep, I would do the same thing, right? I'd be like, oh man, we have to have a media beat around the same time, because they're direct competitors here. All right. So this is a pretty cool image. I love this shot. You can pull the doors off these Broncos. You can store the doors in the vehicle, which is a big deal. It makes it very convenient. The one thing I have many things to like about the Wrangler. Let me state that carefully. I really like Jeeps. I really like the Wranglers. One of the things that I like about the Jeep and the Wrangler is that you have that open air capability. I know when I was a kid riding around a CJ, that was what I loved to do. Tops off, everything open, doors off, and a lot of fun. So it's great to see that capability also on the Ford Bronco platform. Really, really cool. Ground clearance. The Jeep Wrangler, 2020 Jeep Wrangler, 10.8 inches of ground clearance. The Ford Bronco is at 11.5 inches of ground clearance. So more off the factory floor. And Leonard, don't want to get ahead of you, but I heard there ain't going to be an 8-cylinder. No, that's correct. You don't even get 8 cylinders on 2012. But look at the foot-pound rating, the torque rating, and over 400 foot-pounds of torque. So that's what I want. I want torque on the trail. I don't care about top end, about high end. Corey and I, and this isn't the same for all overlanders. We go off-road and we crawl rocks. And so what I want is torque. I want some 35s with good sidewall, and I want some of the capabilities of this Bronco. I want ground clearance, breakover angle, approach angle, departure angle, and guess what? The Ford Bronco delivers on all of those fronts above the Wrangler spoiler. Now, let me do a disclaimer. I'm just going to be very honest, you guys, right? We roll this way. We're transparent. You guys have been watching us, do, through the daily videos, our live streams, and one thing you'll know about us is that we are flawed. We make mistakes, and we're transparent. So let me be transparent with you about our relationship with the Ford Bronco. We have none. We're not that important. So don't take this as oh yeah, you guys are just like no, we don't get a piece of that action. We're not no affiliation. We're just breaking down the stats for you guys. Hey, I drive an 80 series Land Cruiser, and let me tell you another spoiler. Let me tell you, this is the first release where I've looked at a new vehicle versus my 80 series and gone, well. It's pretty cool stuff. All right, approach angle. The Jeep Wrangler 43.9 degrees and the Ford Bronco 43.2 degrees. So Wrangler edges the Bronco out by a fraction of a degree in that category, officially, honestly stated. If you just want to be black and white about it, the Wrangler is better, but again, it's a fraction of a degree. And we know both approach angles are incredible. You guys just look at the profile. Here, let me get us a new picture to look at. All right. Okay, so the approach angle is really important as you're approaching a rock, but if you look at the profile of both of these vehicles, you guys know, you can see, that the approach angle is really good on both vehicles. Better than my 80 series. It's really good. And look at this image. Look at the departure angle on this vehicle. It looks like the back tires are behind the vehicle. So that's great. That spec, the departure angle on both vehicles is 37 degrees. Paired. So they're 37 degrees, pretty darn good for the departure angle, and that's important too. Now I drag on the 80 series. I drag when I go over a rock, and that's why I have that armor underneath the vehicle, is to account for that. All right. So so the water, pun intended, fording depth. If you guys if there's any, I've got some really groovy, funky blues playing in the background. If that's too loud, let me know. I can't hear very well, but nobody said anything, so I guess it's an okay volume level. It's not drowning out my audio. The water fording depth of the Bronco is 33.3 inches maximum water fording depth, and on the Wrangler, that's a great shot right there. Approach angle, really killer doors, open air, nice. Now let me tell you, when I consider perhaps upgrading. No, you really can't upgrade the 80 series. When I consider an additional vehicle in the overland bound fleet, we have an entire fleet, which includes a Ford Focus and our old Land Cruiser. Adding another vehicle, this picture is why, because the appointments, the upgrades of the interior is really cool. Electronics, but also comfort, things of that nature. That's one serious upgrade. And they have a hose out version interior as well. For those of you guys who are off-road most of the time in dusty, muddy situations, there's an interior package that you can basically hose out. You probably don't want to spray it directly on the dashboard with a garden hose, but you can wash it out. This is similar to the FJ Cruiser and that interior that you can basically just hose out, and that's really convenient. It's a really convenient feature. You don't have to worry about damaging things on the inside. Okay, and let's take a look at the 4-door. Here's the 4-door. Pretty darn BA, if you ask me. All right, so let's see. The final stat we were going through that I did not quote was the Jeep Wrangler water fording depth is 30 degrees. 30 inches, sorry, 30 inches. 33.3 on the Ford Bronco, 30 versus the Jeep Wrangler. I think because this was the reintroduction of the Bronco in many decades, that it was really important for them to basically go down the list and go check, check, check. Where can we improve? Imagine if Wrangler had not been on the market for so many years, and you were and the tables were turned. It had been Bronco, and Wrangler came to the table with a new vehicle. They do the same thing. It's like, look, we bare minimum, we have to check these boxes, and we have to exceed it where we can. And so there was a real focus on that clearly with the on paper stats, because that's what we're all going to do. It's going to be like, yeah, show me your flim flam, your celebrities and your spokespeople and all that kind of stuff. Show me the stats. I want to see the stats. And that's what it's all about. So, good point. Leonard, good point, right? One of the basic stats is engine. Show me the performance. And I think they focused on that foot-pounds so that they can be like, boom, there it is. We have it where it counts. And that EcoBoost is really efficient, really durable. All right. Let's see. Don't forget to like this stream. Yeah, like this stream. Hey, loyal boomstick. Thank you very much, I think. Okay, let's see. Yeah, the actual delivery is going to be a little bit, is going to be in 2021. You can, they're taking reservations now. The Bronco Sport will roll out first. Okay. That looks like Alabama Hills. I don't know if that actually is, but that's what it looks like. Okay, so now let's skip on over. Tell me if there's any technical difficulties here. Let's skip on over to this view. You guys should still hear me. Yeah, okay, I see my levels. I'm looking at my levels. You guys should still hear me now. But now we got this fact sheet in front of us, and really, what I want to bring up, what I want to point out is this right here, right? All along the top. Look at hold on, you guys can't see that, just quiet. All right, there you go. All along the top, you guys see the variations. You got the Big Bend, Black Diamond, Outer Banks, Badlands, Wild Track, and First Edition. Now the base level package, yes, on a base level Bronco, disclaimer, not the Sport. On a base level Bronco, you can put 35-inch tires on that vehicle. And now, what I really like, this caught my attention because it's in alignment sort of with our approach with overlanding. We say it doesn't matter what you drive. It does matter where you drive it. And the reason we say that is because there's all kinds of different types and styles of overlanding, and everyone's going to configure their vehicle specifically for what it is that they enjoy doing. I don't expect you to be able to read that. Sorry, I hope that's not too frustrating for you. As soon as you say you need this in an overland vehicle, or overlanding is this, or in order to be a real overlander, any of those things, you're already false, right? Because there's so many different approaches to it, just like any other lifestyle, or however you scratch that itch, however you want to find that connection with the great outdoors. There's so many different varieties, and what I like about this is that they have different base level packages depending on where you live, the kind of overlanding that you want to do, or the kind of off-roading that you want to do. Great. Leonard, thank you for letting me know. Appreciate that. So the base level package, I already said many times, 35-inch tires. So you have standard equipment, of course. Goat mode, you guys, 7-speed manual transmission with that goat mode. Yes, goat mode is a real thing. Pretty awesome. Even myself on the 80 series, it's an automatic transmission, but I'd like lower gearing when I'm going downhill, for sure, mostly, right? So I don't have to lay on those brakes quite so much, and I have a little bit more control. So goat mode, awesome. And then you have the various base level packages, and it gives you a little summary, and I'm not going to dive into the details. By the way, you guys, you can download this spec sheet over at the Ford website. So go and check it out. You'll be able to read it. You're not trying to look at a pixelated image or anything like that. So you can get this PDF over at the Ford website, but you can see the Big Ben creature comforts along with your standard Bronco features. So it's an upgrade package. Black Diamond, next level outdoor adventure, complete with that washout interior that I was speaking of. Outer Banks, the trim that puts off-road style and tech front and center. They're just giving a summary here. That's not details, of course. Extreme off-roading, that would be the Badlands experience. The Wild Track, high-speed off-roading. Just to hit on that point, 2-wheel locker in the back, and high RPMs, and all out in the desert. That's what you want. Your high speed and your needs are different than if you're rock crawling. It's nice for them to offer a high speed, desert racing, off-roading focused option, because it is different than rock crawling. Again, it's not one size fits all. What do you find yourself doing? Interesting point. People ask me why I run the BF Goodrich mud terrains, the Cam 3s. You plan for the most extreme condition you're going to face. That's what you plan for. And with these different options, if you're going to find yourself rock crawling, you might plan for that scenario. Even if you don't do a lot of it, it's like a winch. You don't need it every day, but when you need it, you need it. So you want to focus with these various platforms. And then first edition, just forget about it because they're already sold out. Forget about it. First edition, there were only $3,500 of those vehicles even made. It combined the best equipment from all of these different options, and there were only 3,500 of them. They're sold out. They were probably pretty expensive. Base level package, you guys, is $30,000, just so you know. Base level package. Probably should have said that at the start of this video, because that's what everybody wants to know. But that's the deal, right? Okay, let's see. Yes, they're independent front suspension. Let's see. Yeah, no. You know what? Let me tell you about this. This solid axle versus independent front suspension. And you guys know, because I'm sure you guys just tune social pants. What are you doing there? Crying out loud. Thank you. So let me tell you about you guys. I know you follow and you know every detail about the nuances of what I like, don't like. I'm kidding. No, you don't. Let me tell you. The solid axle, I prefer solid axle. That's how I roll. And I've said that before, and the 80 series has a solid axle, and I like it because of the durability. And certainly in some off-road situations, the fact that the opposite tire reacts to the other tire, depending on this, right? Solid axle versus independent front suspension. Just write in the comments if you need me to do that demonstration again. I'm happy to. But that's the difference, and it drives this tire down when this tire goes up, and you can get better traction as a result of that. So I do prefer the solid axle, But if I were Ford and Bronco, I would embrace the independent front suspension as they have and make no apologies about it. Because like kind of the subtle side topic of this video is it's not one size fits all, right? What are you going to be doing with that vehicle? And solid axle is good for certain things. Independent front suspension, if you're going like a bat out of hell through the desert and you're going over whoopties and you need that freaking responsiveness on the suspension travel, that's why the Baja Racers, the trophy trucks, the 1000s, they're independent front suspension, no apologies, let's go. That's what they need. So I would just embrace it in that way. And what's really going to tell us if they've succeeded is if we start getting CV joints busted, if we start getting broken parts on the trail. That's why I'm a solid axle guy. I see broken independent front suspension parts on the trail, and I don't see solid axle parts on the trail. And that's it's as simple as that. However, they probably have one or two engineers working on the design of this thing, and they probably made that a focus. We don't want to overstress, our CVs and have broken parts, and this is an off-road vehicle, so they probably put a lot of time and attention to it. So we'll just have to see in the long run whether or not those things get busted up. There's no way Ford put Baja suspension under that thing. John, you clearly have not seen the Baja 1000 Ford Bronco. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. No, clearly, yeah, John, you're right. We'll just have to see. Time will tell. Yeah, because Baja 1000 suspension on a trophy truck is not consumer friendly, meaning it's going to cost you an arm and a leg, and clearly you have to make some compromises in mass production. So we just don't know at this time. All right, let's see. Going up real fast on those rocks. Yeah, you got to be careful about that, right? All right. So what else we got here? Standard package. You guys can get all the information on the standard packages, etc. We're going to switch back to another view because we do want to take a look at some Oh, I'm not going to bring. Well, hold on, just a second. I was going to go back to the Sasquatch version. You go to Motor Trend. This is Motor Trend. I'm going to give them a shout out. Thank you for the photos, Motor Trend. You go to, because now their traffic is just going to be like Overland Bound mentioned Motor Trend. I hope their servers can take it. So it's all about Ford Bronco, and I want to see here if there is. They're advertising on their page. It's weird. See if we have any videos. There's a great all 43 photos. I don't need that right now. Okay, is this it? Oh, they're gonna show me an ad. They're getting double time. They're getting double time on this ad. There's some good videos out there. I was hoping to find one. Maybe I will. We'll see. Of just a fly around of the Bronco, and yeah, here we go. This is what I want to show you guys. It's pretty cool. We'll just have that running in the background because we can see it from all angles in this way. But you guys, I think the Bronco's pretty cool. I do have a little soft spot in my heart for it. I got a history with the Bronco back when I was a kid running logging roads. Yep. My friend had one. I couldn't afford one because he had a 1968 with 302 in it, and it was awesome. We used to trek that thing around the logging roads up in Humboldt County in Northern California, and it was great. And so I have a lot of fond memories of that vehicle. And so it's nice to see them. It's nice to see them come to the table. And it looks like Ted. I'm gonna comment here. It's cool, Rodrigo. It's cool, but I thought it was also pretty cheesy. They can't help themselves. They, come on. I mean, they're there's a lot riding on this release, and so yeah, they can't help themselves. It gets pretty corporate, right? But what I was glad to see here is that it seems like they hit some style points, which is cool. But I'll be honest. Even if you look at my 80 series, it's utility built. And I'll weld a piece of metal onto it if I want to. Style is like, you get style points, I guess. I don't know. But what's good is that it looks like they hit the marks on the stats, which is really gonna be interesting to see later in 2021 when these things start hitting the trail. Right, that's gonna be the real story. Right now, looks great. Looks great on paper. Let's get it out there and see, how this thing really performs in the wild. It will be very interesting to see how our worldwide community of Overland Bound members, which are here to support you, put this vehicle through the paces. Shameless plug. Go over to overlandbound.com right now, and if you're not a member, consider joining our crew. We would love to have you as a part of the crew. And then you guys see my text up here. We have to, because we've spent so much time and energy building our Overland Bound 1 app. I want you guys to go download it. It's free. If you want to use the map and rally point and stuff like that, you need to be an Overland Bound member, but that's completely reasonable. But you can contact our members. You can speak with them online and through the forums, and get information. If you guys don't have an overland vehicle or an adventure vehicle, let's call it, and you're considering building something out, all these guys in the chat, a lot of these guys that are hanging out, Overland Bound members, number shout outs there, they will help you because they're awesome. And we all started somewhere. And so, if you're just considering, if you're getting sick of the 9-to-5 grind and you need to find some adventure, get that app, contact the community. They're going to be very, very helpful and answer your questions about getting out there and making sure you have some balance in your life. All right, with that shameless plug, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut this thing down. Boom. I shut that thing down, and we're going to wrap up here. Let's see. Are we considering, let me just say, if we were considering reserving a Bronco, we would do the manual 7-speed transmission. That's what we would do. To answer that question. And John, you're welcome. You guys want to dive into the stats? Then you can go to the Ford website, and you can. I'll put a link in the description of this video once it's done processing it and it's actually posted. I'll put a description in there for you guys to a link to get that PDF that has some of the stats. Some of the things are pretty impressive. All right, you guys. 19175 22057. How's it going, you guys? All right. Talk to you soon. Thank you very much for hanging out. I'll see you guys soon.